Okay. Other question.
You say that, and it's like that, we should trust in our intuition, and I learning doing that. When you ask in the exercise when we start this class, you say go to your heart and ask about ethic. And I feel like I'm dealing with the heart of the another human being, and I feel the deep and big, yeah, the deepness of the human, and I feel like overwhelming. I don't know everything about what can happen. I know that I need to trust, but it's like a overwhelming task. How to deal with that?
Again, excellent question. Two things that I want to say about that. First of all, is that there is a difference between empathy and compassion. In empathy, we often open ourselves to experience the pain, feelings, the feeling body of another. It is an important skill to have. I often, in a breathwork session, when I don't know what's happening, I can't figure it all out, but I'll watch a person and I see their posture and how they're breathing. And I will often imagine or empathize with that and kind of breathe that way in their posture just to see what that feels like. What's that experience? So again, I'm not trying to figure that out. I don't know, but it's like, what is it like to breathe the way they're breathing? However, I do not take on all of their pain. I do not take on all of their suffering. I have compassion. I have love for who they are as a human being, their journey in life, but I do not become it. That's one thing in terms of feeling overwhelmed. No, I don't go down with the ship. I don't take everything they are on. So now both of us are in the same misery or the same pain. Number two is that I always come back to trust and turning it over to God. And so there's a simplicity in that. The mind loves complication. The mind thrives on complexity. We go to the movies or read a book or watch a video, and it has all sorts of plot twists. There's this and there's that, and there's, and it's like, oh, the mind loves trying to figure it out. Who done it? Who's the culprit? What's the solution? The mind is derivative. The mind is like a computer. The mind is a wonderful tool, but it doesn't have the answers of who we are and what our mission is on Earth. Oh, you can plug it in. Go to Google. What's my mission in life? Who am I? And you'll get plenty of answers. That doesn't really fill the soul. So the mind is also afraid of annihilation. When we create the mind, we can create a monster that takes over our life, or we can create a servant that's always there to help us. So we have to step out of the mind and come back to simplicity. The simplicity is in the heart. The heart can embrace all different nuances of a person's life and just come back to simple acceptance of them. So I don't have to figure out what happened to them at 2 years of age or what traumas took place in school. I mean, all those are interesting tidbits and sometimes useful. But I have to come back to the simplicity of accepting them in their perfection in this moment. What? They're not perfect, they're sick. What do they come to me for? No, there's part of them that is experiencing pain and suffering and whatnot. But I must be able to come back to the simplicity of their soul and accepting their wholeness. The only thing that cures misery or separation is wholeness. And wholeness doesn't come through complexities of the brain. It comes through acceptance of the heart. It's our greatest tool. Oh yes, I learned bioenergetics. I learned from everything out there, but all those things are secondary to loving presence, which is our greatest tool as a breath worker. And when you start to get confused, when you start to wonder what's going on with this, oh my God, if I went through what they went through, I'd be worse off than they are. Well, that's your mind. That's your mind taking it on. So what do we do when a person gets overwhelmed? We say, take a breath. And that's what I have to say to myself. Take a breath, Jim. You don't know the answer here, but you do know the grace that comes through taking the next breath.